Hey everyone, welcome to this next episode of Road to Rank A, and this is going to be another championship one. This is actually coming from Test Season 1. I know we're now coming to the end of even Test Season 2, and they've already announced Test Season 3, but I was on a work trip to Spain, so I've been away for the last week. So all of the last few uploads I had scheduled to go up whilst I was away. So that's what you guys have been watching. However, this is some footage from the championship. I think this was maybe the second or third race that I did. So this is at Brands Hatch. I'm still driving the Jaguar F-Type Group 3 or Group 4. Can't remember, whichever one it is. This is a Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. And currently we're in the qualifying here, so I'm still I think this race is still rank C. So following on from the last episode when I was in rank C, so all of these guys are at a similar rank, and this is my final qualifying lap here. So I'm currently in second place, and almost, I think, exactly 1/10 behind the leader here in my time. And actually my qualifying laps here weren't that great, they were a bit messy. I'd been practicing this for a little bit of time and then obviously entered this race, but I didn't really get the flow of this one too well. My gears weren't that great and I was just changing a bit too much, and I just didn't have the line that smooth, so my racing lines and stuff weren't fantastic for this race. I wasn't too happy about it, but I just kind of fancied getting in and racing rather than spending ages perfecting the lap. And I think this one was at, I don't know, 10 o'clock or something, so it was already getting pretty late, so I didn't want to hang around. So anyway, there's my qualifying lap, 1:33.6. I think my fastest lap in practice was like a high 1:28 or something like that, so you know, not super fantastic, but good enough to get me second place anyway. The guy in first, Frenchman, I think Mickey 54 in the Renault Megane. Those ones have insane top speed, like crazy in the straight line, but less good in the corners, I suppose. And then there's me in the Jag, and then in third place here's Cyril 91 in the Porsche GT4. Yeah, so it must be Group 4 cars then. Anyway, so starting off the race in second place, feeling pretty positive. The guy in first was only about, what, a tenth, less than a tenth faster than me in qualifying, so I'm thinking, yeah, that's pretty good. I should be able to keep up with that, no problem, and have a good little race. Anyway, so let's get into the race here then. It's a 10-lap race, starting in second out of 20. The Porsche coming up right on my tail already, and I'm just, as I said, staying pretty close, staying in the slipstream for Mickey so that I can keep up with him. The main thing with these cars is because of the high downforce, they do create this kind of big hole behind them, so you got to be careful of that. And the Porsche comes up to my right, which puts me on a funny line here, and then on the exit I just step it out and lose it and into the wall, all over. So I think I just put my foot down a little too early, then caught a bit of dirt on the outside, and it just threw me straight into the wall. So really disappointed. I was like, no, like I was so annoyed because I was quite looking forward to this second place. I thought this would be a good one, and then, you know, first lap in out of 10, straight into the wall, and then a little bit sloppy here as well, going over the dirt, and then I think running wide here as well a little bit somewhere. So anyway, very frustrating in 11th place, having started in second place. Yeah, here we go, running wide here as well, so losing a little bit more time. But it's super important when you're in this race just to stay focused, and noticing the yellow flags there, so I knew there was something up ahead, and there in fact is a guy in another Porsche who had obviously come out of a crash, so I managed to take one place back already, so up into 10th place. But it's, yeah, super important to stay focused. Even if you have a big crash, try not to get like too rage filled and you know, quit the race or just, you know, start driving badly. Try and stay focused, stay calm, and get yourself back in the race. And as you'll see sort of soon enough, things do get better. So I was down 11th place, moved up into 10th, and then taken 9th as well, Millennium, who crashed off, and now I've reduced my gap to less than a second to David here in another Porsche as well, actually. So less than a second gap, and on 8th position. I think I was at a 4-second gap to David when I took 9th place rather. So I brought that down, right down from 4 seconds to well, half a second here. Again, just losing it slightly. You've got to be super careful in that dirty air not to lose the grip at the back end. And the main thing you got to be is patient in this, because what you don't want to do is be too aggressive and, you know, think, right, I should be way up ahead here. But if you get too aggressive, you're going to start making mistakes, and then you're just going to crash again, and you'll be even further back. So you just got to stay calm and take the passes when you can, and you know, you will get those positions back. If you manage to qualify well, that should mean that you're quicker than most of the guys out there anyway. So just rely on that and just do nice, good, clean, consistent laps, and good overtaking. Anyway, so we're on lap 3, coming about halfway around lap 3 here, still just behind David, just waiting for an opportunity here, waiting for a chance to potentially make an overtake. And then the Swiss guy here in the Peugeot gun runs out wide, and he just taps me on the inside. I see him re-entering the track, and I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh no, he's going to take me off, but I just managed to slip down the inside and take the pass. Moving one lap on then, and David makes a little bit of an error. He had actually got a bit of a gap from me, so when I took that hit from the Swiss guy in 9th, it slowed me down a little bit, so I lost some time, but I regained it on David as he went wide going into that last corner before the straight. So I'm back on his tail looking for, again, an opportunity to pass, and all the while, and he was actually not too slow, like he was going quite quickly, so we were slowly gaining on the guys just ahead. You can just see them going around the next corner, so they're sort of a couple, you know, 2 or 3 seconds, maybe 3 seconds ahead or something. So we're slowly gaining on those, and I don't want to battle too much, because the more you battle, the slower you're going to go. So that's why timing is really important. You want to make an overtake quickly and cleanly. If you keep toing and throwing, then it's just going to slow you down. So in this situation here, you know, I could have gotten alongside him, but would I have made the overtake? Possibly not. Could have caused an incident, so better to hold off, wait for a good opportunity. And here I've got a really good exit speed, so I go for it, get down the inside, just about hold my line. He cuts me off a little bit here, so I have to be careful not to nudge him, and I do actually get an orange SR down, but I think really that was his fault, really cutting in on me. He brakes early for the right-hander because he was on the outside, and I take it nicely, take that position, and that's what you want, a nice, clean, quick overtake, and I'm through, and now I can focus on cutting down the gap between myself and 6th place, which at this point is 5 seconds, just over 5 seconds. So I've really got some work to do, and it's 5 laps out of 10, so we're just over halfway down. See, this is going on to the 6th lap, so just a little over halfway, and I've got 5 seconds to cut down. So cutting ahead here, 2 laps on, so lap 7 out of 10, and you can see I've managed to lose David. He's about a second and a half behind, and I make a quick overtake on someone in the sand coming onto the final straight, putting me into 6th place. Okay, so now lap 8 out of 10, we're getting to the final couple of laps here, and I'm about a second and a half short of 5th place. Portuguese guy in the GTR. And then he gets sideswiped by this back marker. Really unfortunate. I felt terribly sorry for the guy, but there's not much you can do. So I just about make the overtake on the straight, but the back marker actually gets a really good run. So he must be having a massive penalty at this point, but he's just carrying on, you know, regardless of the penalty. But he manages to actually retake me. So I just lapped him, and he just sort of unlapped himself, which is kind of a big problem. Obviously, if you're a back marker, you shouldn't really try and involve yourself in battles with guys ahead of you. But I don't know, he was obviously not doing very well, and he took out the GTR. And so I guess he was just messing around. Anyway, so I was very cautious of that. I was very aware that he might try and knock me off as well, given that it looked like a pretty deliberate attempt on the GTR, who, by the way, is actually pressuring me pretty strong from the back. This back marker is slowing me down quite a lot, so the GTR is managing to keep up to me, and he's putting some pressure on me. So I'm kind of aware of behind and also aware of in front, and just waiting for an opportunity. This guy's obviously at the back for a reason, so he's been making mistakes and things like that, so I'm just waiting for a good opportunity to make a quick pass. And that's super important, to get past these guys quickly and cleanly as well, because as I said, if you're trading places with a back marker, they're likely to just, you know, crash you off and shunt you off the track. So the back marker here comes out real slow. I think he's using up a penalty there, so I make my quick pass, and then just up ahead, number 4 in the Frenchman in the 4C slides out literally on lap 9 out of 10, so I managed to take 4th place, and then skipping a lap ahead, this is finishing up the race, so I managed to get 4th place. So actually a pretty good, started in 2nd, went down to 11th, and then brought it back up to 4th. So yeah, it wasn't great, but it's nice, and as I said, that just shows that it's really worth sticking in the race, getting your teeth back into it, even if you make a mistake, and you can actually come out with a good result. So happy with 4th, and this actually put me up to rank B. So now we're rank B, and also sportsmanship rating S. So going pretty well so far. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.